Hey, Milsurp Garage, back again. I guess I decided to do a follow-up video. It didn't take long. I could have just stayed with you and bullshitted for a while and just rapped about something, and then would have had it done. But yeah, as you can see, it took to a nice polish here. And I haven't even put it back in and tried it. As a matter of fact, I just finished. I think I got to a point where I like how it looks. Just going to chase these threads out with a rag here. Make sure the threads are clean. Give it a little wipe down. And let's see how it feels now. Yeah, see what a difference. That's the way it should be. Just taking that little bit of burring off of it just makes it feel awesome automatically. This was 800 grit paper, but it's got to be even finer than that because it's a piece that I might have used like 30 times already, so it really just feels like a piece of paper. That's the type of sandpaper you want to use whenever you're messing with stuff to do stuff like this. Less is definitely more. You could always take material off when you're dealing with metal, but it's really hard to put it back. If you go too far with something, or you make scratches that are too deep, then you're sunk. So let's see, let me just give my hands a little wipe off here. And we'll get some trusty rusty ballast oil in action here. Let's get a little ballast oil on these shiny metal parts. You know what I'm going to do here too? I'm just going to, where's that rag I had before? I'm just going to take this rag and I'm going to just chase these threads out too, just to clean them up. I usually don't use like tissues or napkins, but I'm kind of out of patch material. I'm going out to the range tomorrow, and the place where I get like bags of you know, industrial sized bags of patches is out by my range. So here we go. We don't need to go too crazy. I just really wanted to. Don't say that ballast oil would have made it feel nice before, because it wouldn't have. It was all burred up. Okay, now, I mean, I'm sure the ballast oil wouldn't. Actually, it was oiled. I mean, it's not like it was dry when I had this issue. And there we go. Let's see what it feels like. Ah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you want that to feel like. Now, like, you know, 50, 60 years of pushing this button would have made it feel this way. But it doesn't hurt to speed it along if it really felt terrible. And now, yeah, let's see now how in practice, let's make sure nothing got messed up. Oops, that thing's like a razor. Yeah, GSA was not fooling around. And now the button feels good. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's the second video in a row polishing up the M39, because I had it out and a couple of these things that I've been meaning to do crept up. Because I'm just going to do a little bit of 7.62 by 54R madness tomorrow. We got the Mosine, the Hex Mosine brass stacker, scout scope going out tomorrow, the SVT. So I figured I would take along the M39 and let that thing spread its wings a little bit. And getting the SVT in action made me want to shoot my M1 Garand. So we got the M1 Garand going out tomorrow. Yes, we do. Everybody knows this sound. There it is. What a beauty. Boy, I haven't had this one on video for a long time, huh? But yep. It's going out tomorrow. I'm burning the garage down. Alright, everyone. That was my project for the evening. Now it feels good. That's the way it should feel. Till I get a legitimate one of these. I don't want to say this is a copy. It's a reproduction. I wouldn't call it a copy. Or a fake. You know, if you're trying to make it look like it is the original, you're making a fake. You know what I mean? I mean, this thing says 1999 on it. It says GSA. Who are they trying to fool? They're not trying to fool anybody. They wrote Sky and they put the S on here really just to follow the form of the original, but they serial number it here. You can see the serial number there, and they quite clearly write GSA 1999. But what a quality product! Don't get any of those blued ones; those are horrible. These at least look like the originals. You know what I mean? And they, fitment on and off is good. They go on and off very nice. And they follow the dimensions of the originals perfectly. I think those blued ones are a little bit longer or something. They're just dimensionally not correct. At least these are dimensionally correct. But man, did they put some edge on this thing. That's most of these bayonets, you fool around with them, you don't really have to worry about getting cut. I mean, like this guy, this guy's not cutting you. You ain't getting cut by him. You know what I mean? This thing is like it's like a poker. You know what I mean? It's not a cutter. But this, they really put some edge on this thing, man. They weren't fooling around. This thing could probably slit a piece of paper, And that's the story. Hopefully I can get some range videos up tomorrow. Going with my dad, and he's kind of like a camera buff. Maybe I could get him to bring along some of his gear and take some videos that I'd be able to post. He's taken some videos of me before. And then he gives them to me on DVD. He's like, "Here, I put a DVD together with some video I took of you at the range." I'm like, "What the hell am I going to do with that?" It's funny. You go to the like stores, like here where I am. They have like BJ's, the Costco, these Price Club kind of deals, where they have like a little bit of everything. They used to have like 2 whole aisles of DVDs and a whole another like aisle and a half of books. Gone. I stopped being a member for like 2 years, and then I just went back. They sent me something where they basically gave me like a year for free. I was like, hey, why not? There's like a table. It's like a card table with books on it, and like a 5-foot rack with DVDs on it, and the DVDs that were on it were like what was released like this week. That's it. You know what I mean? And they were full. The racks are full. No one's buying it. It's so funny how the next form of media, when DVDs came out, and that type of disc. I mean, I know there was Blu-ray after that, but it's basically the same thing. That disc. People were like, hey, I wonder what's next. You know what I mean? We were 8-track tapes, then we were cassette tapes, then we were CDs, then now DVDs. What's next? What's the next form of media? And I was the one to be like, that's it. There is no next form of media. The next form of media is going to be just direct, just digital, just direct digital. You're not going to have any hard copies of anything. It was obvious to me that was what was going on. And that's what's going on. That's why this stuff is it's refreshing to mess around with this old stuff. You know what I mean? back to a day when, you know, things were real. When you're messing with a gun that was put together by, like, candlelight, and the materials were delivered with horses, only because there were no cars or light bulbs, that's pretty cool. Makes you want to just work on it that way. You know what I mean? Makes you want to just shut everything down, light a few candles, and do your work on it like that. At least I feel like. Anyway, thanks for hanging in there. Try to get some videos up at the range. We'll see what happens. Have a good weekend.